Please join me in welcoming Clémence.
Whenever we had a new client that I wanted to work with, I kind of had to go talk to the manager asking for be on the project. With my clients, I barely speak with the CSR team. It's mostly procurement, logistics, IT, which is fascinating. Understand and identify who works on their supply chain, with a big step, even though when you think of it, it's a bit crazy, but they have no clue who works with them. It's my way to meditate. Whenever I draw or I work out, that's what I love to do.
Welcome to Keeping Up with the SASIs, the podcast where we explore the projects, challenges, setbacks, and successes of sustainability and social innovators. I'm your host, Juan Pablo Grimaldi, and today I'm glad to welcome a great guest. Since the start of her career, she has worked in sustainability. She has worked with social startups. She has been a sustainability consultant for one of the big four, and she is now working on a solution to the traceability challenge. Please join me in welcoming Clémence Faucon. We're glad to have you on the show, Clémence. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good.
Well, it's great to see you. Where are you joining us from?
I'm in Paris.
That's very nice. How is your summer going?
It's been great. I spent the summer in the mountains, in the Alps, French Alps, for 2 weeks. And yeah, a good break, hiking with my family, a complete detox. So it was great. And then I went back to work. So I started working a couple of weeks ago again. But yeah.
Okay.
And I've been hiking with my family ever since I was a child. So I try to.
Oh, come on. You're an experienced hiker.
I like it.
Oh, well, that's good. And do you always go to the Alps?
Often, yeah. I have a family house there. And it's funny because growing up, when I was a kid, you want to be, it's a house in the middle of nowhere, like really lost.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, at some point, I didn't like it anymore because I thought there was nothing to do. But now that I'm more mature, I'd say I love it so much. And it's funny because we have family friends there as well.
Yeah.
And they're the same. They stopped going there when they were like in their 50s, and now they keep on coming every year because they love it so much.
That's very cool. I'm glad you have reappreciated having a house in the Alps. So I want to hear from you. What have you been up to since you left the SASI program? Have you been all this time in Paris? Maybe you had projects somewhere else, or you have just been really, really busy.
Well, yeah, I've been in Paris the whole time ever since we graduated. So we graduated during COVID, but then I immediately start when we stopped our classes. I started my job at a consulting firm in sustainability, part of the Big Four. So I joined a big team in strategic consulting, and I did that for 4 years and a half. And I really loved it. It was an amazing challenge because I got to work with different industries on their sustainability strategy, which covered a lot of different topics. But what we were trying to do mostly is trying to define a vision for them and how to deploy that in a strategic way. So, for example, if they had a climate strategy, how can we help companies achieve those? And what I really wanted to understand the business challenges of several different industries to kind of gain the expertise and how to convince them, not only convince them, but how to really push sustainability in every business unit and not have sustainability as a side thing, as a side business unit, which is often the case, and they have low budget. It's changing, but I really wanted to see how we can embark everyone in how we can put sustainability at the core of the businesses. And for that, it was important for me to work with different industries and different types of clients to understand their perspective and how we could show them why sustainability is important for their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did that for 4 years and a half, and I
Yeah.
joined about 8 months ago a company that's much smaller. We're 30, and we sell some traceability solution. So basically, we help companies gain transparency on their supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mostly on this environmental and social aspects of it. So we use that solution. We help, with our solution, we help companies gain a better understanding on the environmental and social impacts of their supply chain and how
Okay.
to mitigate that. And right now, with the European regulations, so the EUDR, which is the regulation against deforestation, I'm mostly helping clients put in place traceability to gain a
Mm-hmm.
better understanding of whether they're deforested or not,
Yeah.
and help them become compliant with the regulation, which is a lot. There's a lot to do,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted this move to a more operational and very data driven position, because I thought it would help me put develop more concrete actions and make it more make it as a whole, make it more complete for businesses.
Okay. That sounds very interesting and a lot of questions to follow up. The first one I have is you give a very clear answer on what you wanted to do at at the consultant firm, helping several business face their sustainability challenges and help them push sustainability into every business unit. Did you have that idea since applied? Like that was your goal since you left the program, or was that something that it shaped up once you were there?
I think, yeah, I had that in mind. At first, I thought I was going to go back. So I graduated from McGill, then
Yeah.
took a year off. And during
Uh-huh.
that year off, I did an internship at Danone, and I loved it. It was super interesting. And I thought, because then I got into the program,
Mm-hmm.
deferred it for a year. And I
Yeah.
thought I was going to go back to Danone after that because I really loved it.
Yeah.
And then during the master's program, I figured I wanted to have broaden my understanding of the corporate world, and I thought that it could, it would be better to do it through consulting, strategic consulting.
Right.
So yeah, that was during the master that I figured I don't want to go into the corporate world right now, maybe later. I want to start first with consulting position.
Okay. So you only applied to consulting.
Yeah.
That wow. That is great. Like especially during COVID, going out and finding what you were looking for, like that speaks highly about you. And so you're there at this consulting firm, and what are you actually working on?
I started as a consultant,
Okay.
and many different types of projects. So we had 4 different types of activities.
Uh-huh.
First one was strategic consulting, let's say, where we developed roadmaps for companies. So, for example, the climate roadmap
Right.
or a more broad sustainability roadmap, which may sound quite vague, but for example, it was for a hospitality client, and we helped them define a roadmap to cover different aspects of sustainability. So, a environmental aspect with the climate goals, biodiversity pillar, and then a more social aspect with I don't know how to have more inclusive opportunities within their internal teams, etc. So it was quite vague, but helping. Basically, what we did is we were trying to understand their challenges and help them define a vision that really encompassed the business and sustainability pillars at the same level. So that was the first activity.
Mhm.
Then we had an audit activity. So basically that was really auditing and writing reports and going
Sounds
to
fun.
client, understanding their numbers and understanding, for example, their energy consumption numbers.
Right.
It was fun. I got to visit several factories thanks to that. So that was
Mhm.
honestly, I really loved that part.
Wow, I
But
have
then, yeah,
never would have thought auditing would be you would pair it up with fun.
it was fun a couple of times, and then I was like, okay, well, I know I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, but it
Yeah,
was interesting to be in that position as well,
yeah.
because yeah, some clients were a bit scared sometimes. It was
Uh-huh.
to be in that position. And then there were the more of the finance part where we worked with private equity firms, and for that we defined their ESG strategies, or we review their portfolios and to to figure out if the companies they were investing in were aligned with their ESG strategy.
Yeah.
Uh, And and then the fourth activity was mostly on regulation at large. So for example, the CSRD or the EUDR, etc. And throughout the years, I worked mostly with textile companies
Mhm.
or and luxury groups and the agro industry.
Okay.
And that was, I really pushed for it because I've always been interested in those industries. And
Uh-huh.
what really attracted me and still attracts me, but was the supply, the sourcing of natural material, if I can say it that way. So
Mhm.
how do you, the food that you buy or the clothes that you wear, apart from luxury clothes,
Yeah.
not everyone buys them. I don't buy them, but it's something that you need for your everyday life. So
Yeah.
what kind of really excites me regarding that challenge is that if you manage to, I don't know, just improve the impact of the cheese, your classic of me being French.
Yeah.
But if you improve the environmental impact of your cheese, then the impact can be tremendous as it is part of your daily consumption, for example. So that was kind of the ideas around it. And so throughout the years, I really kind of specialized myself in those two industries and then slowly on supply chain questions.
Okay. When you say you specialized yourself on those industries and you had to push for it, how does that look like? Like, did you have to talk to your manager or you had to find the clients yourself to put you in a position where you can have projects on that in those industries? How is it?
Yeah, yeah. I had to push for it, which at the end kind of made me leave as well the
Okay.
company. That was one of the reasons why I decided to find a new challenge. But it was, yeah, we'll trying to push internally whenever we had a new client that I wanted to work with. I kind of had to go talk to the manager asking for be on the project. But also I started a with another colleague and another manager. We kind of animated community, an
Mm-hmm.
agro food community, where we had every 2 weeks, I think it was, a meeting with people that in my team that were interested in those topics. We had a meeting to show to kind of sharing news about the industry, different ideas that were developed by businesses. So how, for example, a corporate managed to reduce its water consumption in the production of a yogurt, or I don't know, different ideas like that. So the objective was really to share and keep up to date with what was going on in the industry, and create different synergies to
Uh-huh.
develop further, identify new problematics that we could solve, that we could help clients solve.
Yeah.
And with that, we also launched a study on the challenges of the agri-food industry. So basically saying that what we did is we interviewed a couple of top management from big agro corporate companies, and we wanted to understand their vision and their ambitions for the future.
Uh-huh.
We started with the fact that they all rely on the soil and all the natural components that surround us. And in
Right.
order for them to survive, for their business to survive,
Yeah.
they need to shift to more regenerative practices, etc.
Uh-huh.
And the need is getting more and more urgent. Their business is already affected by it. So what's blocking them? Why isn't this
Yeah.
at a bigger scale? Why are these practices not the norm now? And how can
Uh-huh.
we challenge the status quo? That was the idea behind it, and that's how we launched that study. And that helped me position myself, meet different clients, get new clients, and work on those projects. And I developed new types of solutions or support that we could give to our clients.
I see. I I actually want to know the answer on why is the case. Why the practices that you call for are not the norm.
Well, it's a complicated answer or a long answer, not a complicated one. But it's honestly, some told us that it was because the demand wasn't there,
Okay.
and others, and then when you talk to consumers like you and me, well, we're not pushing for. I mean, for us, the offer is not here, so we can't really consume more. Or, for example, so it was some with that sentence. Some clearly showed that they actually didn't really care for now because it didn't affect their business as much. So for
Mm-hmm.
now, they're fine. Others blame the fact that there's too much regulations in Europe. Others blame the
Mm-hmm.
fact that there aren't too many. So I think it's a matter of we're not good at working all together and collaborating and finding a good equilibrium
Mm-hmm.
because they all need to defend their businesses. But what gave me hope is that on a European level,
Right.
we're doing many great things and many great interesting initiatives, but
Mm-hmm.
we have the power, us as consumers, us as professionals, to try to create better synergies and broaden that movement towards more regenerative practices, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a bit of a blurry answer, but there's so much to do, and they have so many people to blame apart
Yeah.
from themselves sometimes. So I don't know. Need to find ways to engage them more.
I think it I think it must have been a very interesting project just to hear about it, like from senior professionals who I'm sure they had many years on experience and quite set ideas. And to convince them to move forward must have been very rewarding. So you said that you were looking for a project that could bring actual change, more concrete actions within the company. When did you came to this realization?
I think that was probably 2 years ago, or 2 years ago, where it was very concrete at the end of one project where I had worked on it for a year,
Yeah.
developing strategy, defining goals for the companies to achieve. So, for example, I don't know, reach uh, neutrality by 2050, etc. And what we had done is that we had worked with different business units to understand how they worked and define a strategy. And at the end of this whole year,
Yeah.
the strategy wasn't used. They were like, okay, thank you, bye-bye. Because they hadn't managed. It was led by the CSR team,
Uh-huh.
but they hadn't engaged with the finance unit or the supply chain unit, the procurement unit.
All right.
And so at the end, they were like, well, yeah, thank you for this roadmap, but
Uh,
how is that operational? How does it make sense on a business perspective? And that's when I mean, I had already started questioning myself about what we did, but that's when it kind of hit me where we were lacking the data part and showing them that if they don't put that, if they don't follow environmental objectives, if they don't have an actual, you know, actions to put in place, this will impact their business and their
mm-hmm.
profit at the end. And we couldn't show them how it impacted their business. We only told them
All right.
this will, with those things that you will put in place, you'll manage to reduce your carbon footprint by 50%. But it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
concrete enough, and it didn't speak to the finance team or the procurement team, which
All
obviously
right.
makes. And so I was very frustrated, and I wanted to have make it concrete and make it show those people that it actually made sense on a business perspective. And so that's when I started looking at. It took me a year to find my new job, because
Mm-hmm.
it took me a year to figure out what I was going to do next. I was
All
a
right.
bit lost, to be honest. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that, when you're in consulting, which I loved this experience, and I learned so much,
All right.
but I was in a position where I thought I can do so many things, and at the same time, I don't know anything because it was only top level
Yeah.
and it wasn't concrete enough. I lacked, I thought I hadn't any expertise, and I was like, well, I wanna develop an expertise on one topic, not just
Right.
not one topic, but you know, build up strength and expertise on something so that what I can do and how I can help actually has a more concrete impact.
Mm-hmm.
And I linked it back to my interest in the retail agro industry and the, everything that was linked to the procurement of natural resources.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's how I started looking into the supply chain problematics and
Mm-hmm.
challenges. And that's when it kind of hit me. I met a couple of, I went to different conferences. I really, I was like, I need to figure this out. So I talked to a lot of different people. It took me a while, but I I came across a company, which was another consulting company, and
Mm-hmm.
they were helping agro-food industries relocate and render their supply chains more resilient. So, for example,
Mm-hmm.
they grew beans, and they did risk assessment, physical risk, and climate risk assessment on the lands they were using, with projections, and telling them, okay, well, if you keep on using that type of that type of fertilizer with this type of soil, and with
Mm-hmm.
the floods that are coming up, you will reduce your yield performance by this amount. And so these are the actions you can put in place to make your supply chain more resilient. And
Yeah, truly
that
on the
for me,
field.
yeah, I'm still not on the field, but it's much more concrete.
Yeah,
And that's when I came across my actual company, where we sell this solution to help companies understand and identify who works on their supply chain, with a big step, even though when you think of it, it's a bit crazy, but they have no clue who works with them.
yeah,
It's a huge thing. So that already is a big step. And then, yeah, for example, we work with clients and we help them collect data from their suppliers in whatever, in Latin America, for example, the producer that is working, that doesn't even have access to the internet or
yeah.
only a phone. We managed to
Uh-huh.
collect his data and identify whether he's been contributing to deforestation, because we have partners that take satellite images of their lands and then we compare it with a cutoff date, etc. So it's so concrete.
Yeah.
And then I'm working with people from the operational logistics team. They tell me, well, if you want to collect this data, or if you want me to provide you with this, well, it has to take me less than 2 minutes, because otherwise we're gonna lose time and this will impact our business. So it's very concrete,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I'm very happy.
Sounds really cool and innovative. It feels like a job you couldn't have when you left the program. but
No.
but
Oh no, I'm
but
not skipping. I know another.
yeah,
I'm actually with another SASI.
like the,
And
the the
he,
technology existed
yeah,
at that time.
yeah, and he joined, well, from a different cohort, but he joined right after the program.
Okay. Well, it sounds very cool and extremely challenging, given that you say that no one really knows who they're working with.
We will be right back.
Hey, SASI graduate. Have you just wrapped up an amazing project or working on one that deserves more than a LinkedIn post? Share with us on the next season of Keeping Up with the Sassies. Fill out the form in the show notes and let your story inspire our community.
Hey Sassy Grads, it's your Sassy Alumni Hub, and we are bringing together every single cohort from the very beginning right up to the latest, connecting alumni and current students. We hold periodic events throughout the year that you won't want to miss. To get updates and invites, it's super simple. Just make sure you're registered on the official HEC alumni platform. That's how we reach you. So don't wait, join us.
And now, back to the show.
Suppliers. Just to understand, because you said it took you 1 year to get to decide what you want to do. How did you keep yourself motivated to do the change? Like I'm sure during that time you didn't have a clear path. Some days you weren't so sure what was going to happen.
I had ups and downs, to be honest. So, I mean, several factors. First of all, I was happy, or at least I wasn't extremely unhappy in my previous job when
Mm-hmm.
I knew I wanted to leave. And so I was in a comfortable position where I didn't want to quit just to quit. I wanted to quit for a new challenge.
Right.
So I told myself, well, let's not make a stupid move. I mean, for me, let's not make a decision too quickly if I'm not sure of what I want. And especially, you never know what can happen, especially the economic situation was complicated. So I just wanted to play it safe.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough because there was no obvious path. Maybe my next position doesn't even exist yet. So
Yeah.
I struggled a lot. I had no clue where to start, but I was lucky enough because my sister's in sustainability consulting.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all the amazing SASIs and the people I met, I know that we all kind of share the same questions and doubts sometimes. So it
Right.
helped me a lot to first of all know that I wasn't by myself, that even though I had no clue what I was gonna do next, I was definitely gonna find, because sadly there's so much to be done sustainability wise. So I knew I was gonna find something. And yeah, it was a great experience as well, because it made me understand that I should never feel too comfortable in a job, that I should always make sure that I get out there and keep up to date with what's going on and keep on looking at innovations and meeting people that are working towards the same, on those issues, because that's the only way where we can make a change and keep on, making those issues evolve.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I managed to keep
No.
up with that year of research.
No, I hear you. I think it's it really, like, at least on the surface, it sounds that your research really provided results. You really liked what were the soil, everything starting from the soil and the industries that can bring products from the soil. And now that you get to bring concrete actions to take care of the soil with the solutions that you're trying to push forward, like, it sounds like you're in the right place for your next challenge.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm very happy.
So the way you describe it, the solution, like, it sounds too good to be true. How do clients or prospective clients feel about this when this solution is being pitched? Like, do they really adopt it straight away, or how is it going?
It it depends on their needs. Because I'm working on the environmental aspect and mostly on EUDR,
Yeah.
even if our clients are not convinced in terms of sustainability ambition or whatnot, they don't have a choice because of the
Okay.
regulation. And they know it's important for their business, because if they don't comply, they could get their products not confiscated, but they would not be allowed to put their products on the market, and they would have to pay
Mm-hmm.
a fine of 4%, a total of 4% on their total revenue, which is huge business wise.
Right.
So they know that they don't have a choice, and I think, it's a lot of work, because you need to figure out who's in your supply chain and and then engage them so that you can collect data. They don't necessarily do it for purely sustainability ambitions,
Right.
which I think is, it's great. They're doing for their business,
Mm-hmm.
and it's there's it's tough. It's a lot of work trying to engage your suppliers and figuring out who's in your supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a bit, they feel a lot of pressure,
Mm-hmm.
not from us, but because of the regulation and because they need to figure out what's going on upstream.
Right.
And it requires shifting operational processes, gathering that data. So it's a lot of new processes to put in place. which requires work
Mm-hmm.
and time. So that's to say that they need to invest time and money into it. But once they get the concrete conclusions, or once they get to see, well, no, the chocolate bar that you're selling has been produced by that specific producer
Mm-hmm.
in 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 Peru. Oh, it's an amazing victory because it makes it so concrete
Right.
that I think they're very motivated by it, and they get to reduce some costs and have a better understanding of their supply chain. So there's so many great opportunities linked to that, even though it's an investment at first. There's so many opportunities to improve the product that you're selling, improve processes, improve costs linked to it, that
Mm-hmm.
once they're in, then they're happy.
Well, that's
I hope.
good. Yeah. and and I guess that the conversations are with not only the CSR team. I guess they are truly
Oh,
with the entire company.
we barely speak to the CSR teams. Well, depending on the clients, but with my clients, I barely speak with the CSR team. It's mostly procurement, logistics, IT, which is fascinating.
Yeah, something that you could, well, maybe you found in the consulting firm, but now you are doing it really in your
Yes.
solution. And so this sounds like a lot of data management and tech work. Are you familiarized with any of the skills like coding? Can it make it to the startup?
Learning by doing. I am still learning so much, which makes it exciting as well, because I feel like I know, like a
Yeah,
Pokemon, I develop new skills,
yeah,
and it's great. But I had no clue, and I had no understanding of that when I started, which has been tough, and is still tough sometimes, because it's hard to understand, and it gets very technical. But you get to learn by doing, and I have an amazing team, so it makes it much easier. And I know it's a challenge. You have to be ready to really think of something, for trying to figure out something for hours maybe.
mm-hmm.
But then because it's all about connections of, processes, and understanding how your supply chain works. And then if you send a purchase order at that time, then what is the impact in your ERP system? So
Right.
sometimes it's tiring, but it's very satisfying at the end of the day, because it's so concrete, and the technical part at the end of it, not all of it, but makes sense.
Mm-hmm. You get, and from what I understand is that you work with the client directly. That's your role.
So I get to, in a way, translate the business need into a language or data teams and development teams understand.
Okay. It sounds very interesting. I think it sounds promising. I hope you're busy, because definitely as you sell more of the solution, like the whole world will benefit from it. During your experience, you were only working in with the French clients, or you also had international clients? And here I understand that the solution is for international, with international data, but who are the clients here?
In consulting, I mostly had French clients. Mostly French clients. And now I have a bit of everything. So for example, now I have an American client, French client. So I speak I speak English and French, and And sometimes you have producers stepping into the conversation, and Spanish is required.
Yeah.
As you know, it's not. I'm still
Yeah.
learning, but yeah, no, it's fun, and I'm happy. I'm glad I get to practice my English as well.
That's good. Are you traveling or not yet?
We try to travel as less as possible. Whenever we try to have operational teams, so partners on the ground, to avoid
Mm-hmm.
traveling to the traveling super far. But I get to go and meet our clients. So I've been traveling quite a bit in France. And for example, if developments requires us to have a very on the field understanding, concrete
Yeah.
understanding of, well, this producer, how are we going to collect data from this producer? Sometimes we need to be on the field to understand, well, does he even have a computer or even have a phone? That could happen. I haven't traveled for that kind of project yet, but
Mm-hmm.
my colleagues have, and it would be great to have that experience. But we
Yeah.
try to limit as much as possible.
Yeah, I understand that. I think there's also the personal development side
Yeah.
of it. Well, and I just want to hear your thought because working for a big four and working for a startup, like I think they're highly demanding spaces to be in. I'm not so sure how much can you do of your life. Like, do you you get to consecrate to your hobbies, etc. But maybe destroy my stereotype and
Maybe
tell
I
me,
have none of that. I don't have any friends. I just work.
yeah,
No, I do work a lot, but it's also because I like it. But it's important to have a good balance, and I struggle sometimes to put my own limits, to say no, because
hmm
I'm so motivated and I like to do things well that sometimes I need to, yeah, just to set my own boundaries. But what I started drawing anecdotes,
nice.
funny anecdotes of my nieces, for example.
Oh, that's very cool.
I try to sew, and I do a lot of sports. At least I try to do. I like hiking. Obviously, in
hmm
Paris, it's a bit complicated, but
Right.
I started running again. I go to a lot of yeah, fitness classes with my friends, but which is a lot of fun. I need that. Otherwise, I get stressed. It's my way. It's my way to meditate. Whenever I draw or I work out, that's what I love to do. And otherwise, I just love spending my weekends with my friends. And there's so much things to do. I don't know if that sounds boring, but
No, no.
I just love figuring out last minute what new restaurant we can try, or just chilling by the sun with my friends whenever there is any. So yeah,
The Parisian life.
exactly.
No, that's great to hear. I think I just wanted to ask you one last thing. It is, so you had a clear idea on what you wanted to do when you left the program. Said you wanted to drive change in different business and help them do it holistically. You are currently doing that. Where do you see then this ambition is going to take you in 3, 5 years?
That's a very good question. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know if it's if I'll still be in my actual company, if I'll have joined the corporate world again, or if I would have started my own company. I doubt it, but because I don't think I want to. To be honest, I don't really know exactly where. I have no clue. But what I want is trying to incorporate more m- my dream situation, I think, would have multiple positions at the same time. So what I really want is to have my job, but also have some space for my creative part. And I don't know, keep on working on those
Mhm.
drawings, or I don't know, make something out of it. And also there's this, I have joined an organization that works for more collaboration and more discussion in between people that have different views.
Right.
And what stresses me out is mostly the impact of social media and the the fact that we're more and more individualists. What I want is trying to find ways to, in my work or with my creative space, bring that into the actions that I have, and maybe find a way to, I don't know, whether it's with a side job, not a side job, but another activity or another organization that I join. I want to have several spheres of impact in in a professional way, but also a professional as I hear it, and because I won't earn money from my creative parts, but
I don't
also
know.
that, and yeah, bit of multitasking and keep on discovering new things and new ways of trying to have a little bit of a impact.
I think it's a very nice vision to have, and I really hope when we talk next time, you'll be able to tell us that now you're living off your creative life. So, finally, just to wrap up, if anyone in the audience would like to contact you to learn more about working with traceability or what it means to be at a Big Four, where can they find you?
On LinkedIn, I guess.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Clémence, for talking to us. It's been a real pleasure keeping up with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening and help us maintain our community one episode at a time. We will see you on the next episode. Blessings to you all. The content here is for entertainment and informational purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of the host and guest and do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization. Listener discretion is advised. This show may contain sensitive topics or strong language. Use the information at your own risk.